murdered by an illegal immigrant the Democrats released. Jocelyn Nungary, as I mentioned, a beautiful 12-year-old girl in my hometown of Houston, murdered by 2 illegal immigrants the Democrats released. They had them in custody. Her murderers were in custody. The Democrats released them. Her murder was in custody. The Democrats released them. Rachel Marin was a mother of 5. Raped and murdered by an illegal immigrant the Democrats had in custody, and they released them. Over and over and over again. This was deliberate.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Capitol Insights. Today we are diving into a chilling congressional hearing that shook Capitol Hill. And honestly, it shook me too. Senator Ted Cruz came in swinging, accusing President Biden and top Democrats of enabling what he called an invasion at the southern border. This wasn't just political rhetoric. He laid out hard numbers, gut-wrenching testimonies, and devastating losses that will leave you speechless. If you're concerned about what's really happening at the border, how families are being impacted, and the truth behind this administration's immigration policies, you need to watch this from start to finish. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We bring you the stories the mainstream media won't. Let's get into what Senator Cruz said.
In his first 71 days in office, President Biden released 184,241 illegal immigrants. That was a decision. By the way, it was a lawless decision. Federal immigration law says they shall be deported. No president has ever done what this administration did, which is say, we don't care about the law. We are all about partisan politics, and we're going to let them all go. And God help the communities we release them into. His first 71 days, Joe Biden averaged 2,600 releases per day. Let's compare that to the same 71-day period in 2025 under President Trump. Joe Biden, 184,241. Donald Trump, 9. Not 9,000, not 900, 9. That is a 99.995% reduction. At the State of the Union address, Democrats did something else unprecedented. They decided they wouldn't stand for the president. They wouldn't applaud for the president. The only thing they would do is emanate hate and rage for the president of the United States. So Alexis Nungary was at the State of the Union address. I've gotten to know Alexis well, the mother of Jocelyn Nungary, a beautiful 12-year-old girl raped and murdered in my hometown of Houston. The Democrats sat there and wouldn't applaud for the mother whose baby girl was taken from her. President Trump at the State of the Union address said last year Joe Biden stood before Congress and said he could not secure the border unless Congress passed new legislation. And as President Trump pointed out, it turned out we didn't need new legislation, we just needed a new president. You look at gotaways. Under Joe Biden, over 3 million gotaways. Who are gotaways? They're the most concerning of all of the 12 million that came into this country, because gotaways are the illegal immigrants we know were here. We see signs of them. We see tracks. But they didn't turn themselves in. Gotaways are much, much more likely to be murderers, much more likely to be rapists, much more likely to be child molesters, much more likely to be gang members, much more likely to be terrorists. Under the Biden administration, CBP was instructed at the southern border, be on guard for Hamas and Hezbollah and Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorists coming across the border. Why? Because they've declared jihad, and because the Biden open border policies extended a red carpet for anyone that sought to do harm. Now, if you look at what the Trump administration has done, it didn't just slow the bleeding. It turned it around. Daily border encounters down 93%. Encounters with gotaways down 95%. Illegal alien crossings down over 99%. These are historic, the biggest improvement in border security in the history of the United States of America. And yet, not a single Democrat is here celebrating that. Not a single Democrat is saying, thank you that our families are safer. They don't want our families safer. The Democrats have decided instead to fly down to El Salvador and have margaritas with MS-13 gang members. I genuinely don't understand that. Find me a community in America, find me a mom in America who says, you know what we need? More gang members who are raping more little girls. And this crisis is not about numbers, it's about lives. Laken Riley, a beautiful 22-year-old girl in Georgia, murdered by an illegal immigrant the Democrats released. Jocelyn Nungary, as I mentioned, a beautiful 12-year-old girl in my hometown of Houston, murdered by 2 illegal immigrants the Democrats released. They had them in custody. Her murderers were in custody. The Democrats released them. Her murder was in custody. The Democrats released him. Rachel Marin was a mother of 5. Raped and murdered by an illegal immigrant the Democrats had in custody, and they released them. Over and over and over again. This was deliberate. And
these families don't want the spotlight. They want justice, accountability, and change. If this moves you even half as much as it did me, do something. Share this video, hit that subscribe button so we can keep these stories alive. Don't let them be forgotten. This hearing wasn't about stats. It was about souls. It was about innocent Americans, children, mothers, law enforcement, murdered by people who should have never been allowed to stay in this country. Senator Cruz made it clear, the border crisis is not a policy debate. It's a moral failure. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are our leaders doing enough to protect us? Or have politics blinded them to human life? If you care about this country, if you care about the truth, like, share, and subscribe. We're going to keep fighting for voices like Javier, Kayla, Jocelyn, and Hamey, and for the families who refuse to stay silent. I'll see you in the next one. Stay informed, stay strong.